Hey everybody, this is the Jakemy 180 piece precision screwdriver set, and it's pretty darn neat. I normally don't review things like this, but in our hobby, having a good toolkit can really come in handy. I'm going to compare it to the current kit that I use from Harbor Freight, and there's lots to talk about. We won't go too long, but it's really neat. It's sort of a transformer toolbox, so please stick around. We'll talk about it. This might be something very helpful for you. So the first thing you will encounter is this little magnetic clasp, which is something a lot of people will lose right away. You could keep it on one side when you're opening it, when you don't need it. It's not really needed at all, really. It could come in handy as a way to set it off to the side, and if you have magnetic screws, you could put your screws on there so they don't get lost. We'll just put it off to the side for right now. We'll open it up here and have a look on the inside. So you just pull the two top parts apart. That folds down. Then these two sides fold out. It's all held together by these magnets. And you have all these bits. This is overkill for most people in the hobby for sure, but this was only $30 on Amazon or AliExpress, and $50 on Amazon. And I had a gift certificate for Amazon, and I wanted to get this, so I went ahead and did it. It's not bad. There's a lot more here than you're probably going to need. I do a lot of stuff with a lot of different stuff, so the more different kind of bits I have, the better. And I just thought that was so nifty, this little case here. I was a little bit tricked by it though. So like if you want to find this on either AliExpress or Amazon, just search Jakemy. You'll find it. But it's also it's sort of advertised, I believe, as a like a cell phone repair kit. You'll have Pry Tools. Like these are two. We'll go through some of the basics. We're not going to hit every bit in here and everything, but just a real quick overview of this. Like I said, to me, it's worth it to have all these different bits. In fact, I'm looking at getting another set because these aren't $30 for all this. Ain't that bad. But here's a trick that they played on me. Let's cover that quick so you know about it, so you don't get tricked yourself. I surely thought, I did not think that this was going to be battery powered, but from the video that the manufacturer provided, I did expect that it was going to be a ratchet screwdriver. And then this is all they showed you. They did not ever show it turn. They did not ever make a sound of it ratcheting. But in my head, this is all it took to convince me. They held it up to the camera. They pushed this button forward. I think they twisted their wrist like that a little bit. They put it all the way back, twisted their wrist a little bit, and then pushed it in the middle and twisted their wrist a little bit. And I was like, oh, well, that must be a ratchet wrench. Well, it's a fidget toy. Really. You know, it's just there. And I don't think they intended it to be a fidget toy, honestly. I think it was intended to fool. Maybe at one point in time they intended to have this be a ratchet screwdriver, which would have been great. I mean, for the price too, but if this was a ratchet screwdriver, that would have been great. But I'm still happy with it. I mean, it's they're all magnetized, so they all, you know, they all fit in there and they won't fall out. Like I said, it seems to be advertised as sort of a cell phone, laptop, maybe Game Boy electronics repair kit. Some of these bits I'm not even familiar with, but there is a suction cup here, maybe to remove screens or to help you remove a screen. Here we have these two are Pry Tools. There's been a need occasionally for me in my fidget collection and some of my fidgeting work to pry things apart with would have been nice to have a plastic prying tool, because it's not going to leave a mark, you know, like using a knife, a metal on metal situation. So got some Pry Tools that may or may not come in handy. There's a magnet on the back of this that keeps that held in steady. Everything in here, if I took this upside down and shook it, nothing would fall out except for these. So be aware of that. these are like little extension. They give you like 4. That's another thing. Some of these are not easy to pull out with just your own fingers at all. But these are just some extended bits. And they give you 4 of those. And for whatever reason, those ones don't want to stay in their little clasp parts there. Everything else stays in too good. That's one of the reasons I pulled this out. Here's a goofy bit for you. You know, that's an interesting thing too. I have one from Harbor Freight that has much less than this, but I've had other ones in the past, and you'll encounter tools that they kind of make up. Like one is just a magnet. It's just cute to see their little symbols for what everything is, but there's a magnet that's by itself. I think one of them said, what was it? Where was that? Here, all, an AWL. So that's just like a reaming tool. But here's one that says Pry, P-R-Y. And it is a little, it's a screwdriver, but it's been bent and it's intended to use as a prying tool. So that's, and you know what? To get the tools out of this thing, you need a little prying tool. So you may as well grab that. And, you know, these two prying tools came out pretty easily. But this one is just a different kind of prying tool. It's just funny they labeled it Pry. You've got 2 sets of tweezers over here. They're pretty easy to get out because of the tips. Now, I should just said they were pretty easy. They're actually pretty difficult. These clasps are a little bit tighter than they should be, maybe. And you know what else I could try? Let's just do this quickly. Let's put those back in. Maybe my own stupidity is getting ahead of me here, but okay. Because I thought I had trouble with this earlier. So the curved set of tweezers, they'll come out pretty easy if you just get underneath them, and maybe to help it, you could squeeze the tweezers. Yeah, that makes them come out a lot easier, because this clasp right here is pretty tight. These are very sharp. They've been flattened a little bit, ground flat a little bit on the inside, but they're pretty precise, but pretty pointy. Put those back in. It's easier to put them back in too if you squeeze it a little bit. This is a straight set of tweezers. Let's try to get those out in a similar way. I'm going to have to use that little pry tool. And you know what could make that pry tool a little easier to use? If I put an extension on it. So we got an extension. There's a large extension and a small extension. And I'm not sure what that is. But here, we'll get these other tweezers out. Get underneath them here. Maybe squeeze them together a little bit. See, that's a pain in the butt right there. I don't want to have to do this every time I need my tweezers out. Yeah, that's kind of sucky. But I have other tweezers. My main interest with this whole setup was, well, for one, the fact that it's basically a transforming toolbox, but also for all the tools that are available here. So yeah, we've got this short extension piece. We've got this. Isn't it funny that I have to use a pry tool to get everything out? Oh, I don't know that we have any 1/4 inch. This is 1/4 inch on this side, so that would fit into, if you had, what is this? Is this an extension, or is this a conversion? That's a conversion. So, if you needed to use 1/4 inch socket bits with your screwdriver, you can with this adapter. And this, for whatever reason, is available, I guess, if you want to use any of these. I don't know what size these these bits are called, but it's an adapter, so it'll go from the small size hex bits to the large size. At least I think that's the idea. So this is sort of an extension, but not really. These are like converters. So I think that's pretty much about it. I must have knocked one out here. Oh, that's the pry. Here, I put this one in the wrong spot. We'll put this back. Yeah, there's this, the clasps are very, very strong on this. The other thing you get, and I've seen this, I'm aware of these because I've seen some other kits that are intended for repairing telephone or cell phones and stuff, but you get like 5, it says ×5, and then it says opener on the side. So these are like little prying tools to use to get into your cell phone battery. Again, I've had a need to pry fidget type tools, or not tools, but to take things apart, to pry things. It would be nice to have some plastic tools to do that. And then over here you got the same exact things, except these are like in the shape of a guitar pick. They don't come out very easy either, do they? Yeah, I'm sure they do. I just don't know how to do it. Yeah, opener. Maybe slide them in from the back a little bit better. Yeah, that's the trick. Slide them in from the back. Yeah, slide them out from the side. So that's it. There's not much more to say. I don't need to keep you here all night. The one on AliExpress is gray. That looks like this. And one thing I forgot to tell you about was the padding that it came with. In case you're traveling a lot, you're banging things around, and these bits start to come out of their little slots. Like I said, they're in there fairly snug, but I could see they were packed in there for a reason with these things. So that could mean that they intend for you to keep them in all the time. The trick to this is close up the sides, and then this is like a set of piano keys. It drops right down on there like that, and then you just sort of tuck it in. It came with 2 of these, so there's one just like it for this side, and then the whole thing folds back up. So the last thing I will leave you with is the diagram that shows you what all the different tool bits are. So I'm going to pull this out of the way and let that fill up most of the screen just for a little bit, and then you can pause it if you want there, and you know, with YouTube you can zoom in on the screen and everything and get a better look. So leave that up for a minute. And I think that's all there is to say. I just thought this would be fun to share. It's such an interesting creative way to keep everything organized. There, I turned it upside down again. Like I said, I don't know if I said or not, I probably would have bought the gray one rather than the black one. I probably should have done that, but I had that gift certificate, and I felt like getting a little something for myself. So, yep, just search for Jakemy. You'll find it. 180-in-1 precision screwdriver set. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye.